The Indian people of America have a special reverence for the land. The sacred places of Indians are not buildings. They're mountains, lakes, rivers, rock formations. The Indians talked to plants and trees long before the recent experiments in the greenhouse. They practiced conservation centuries before it became a necessity. They still call the animals brothers. It's no surprise that their lands are desirable places for vacations. And it's no surprise that they've seen this and have prepared places for your enjoyment. But there are surprises. The quality of their facilities, the care in planning recreational areas, the modern comforts, the ancient cultural riches, the variety of vacation experiences. The American Indian people welcome you to stay a while with them and enjoy an original American vacation.
Caught one right over there in that, next to that bush one day. I'm going to give that another go. All right, here we go. Easy, man. There he is. I got him.
Come on.
He's jumping. There he goes again.
Okay, that's good.
Bring him in. You got a net? All right. He's bringing it up.
Yeah. He's not getting the wood. You got him real good.
Okay, we got him. I think he'll go 4 or 5 pounds.
Oh, maybe 3.
Easy.
You're just like any other fish.
4 or 5
trying to stretch it.
They went back in under that brush.
When some people think of a vacation, they think of big brawling bass or trout. Some people think of just getting away from work, schedules, pressures, and from other people. There are those who think a vacation is letting someone else do the cooking and cleaning. Time to shop, sunbathe, sightsee, a little luxury. And the young folk think of a new adventure. Most Indian reservations and properties offer all these things, such as the home of the Western Cherokee at beautiful Tahlequah in the green country of Oklahoma. The Jalagi Motor Inn, contemporary, luxurious, fun.
Yo ah hey, oh ah hey, ah 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 hey, ah ah hey, ah hey, ah ah hey.
10 minutes away from a modern motor inn, you can walk into another epoch in time, a complete recreation of a Cherokee village before the coming of the European settlers. It's historically authentic down to costumes, dwellings, crafts, and the smell of wood smoke. It's operated by the Cherokee National Historical Society, and there you can see and feel Indian life the way it really was. You'll find that all nations of Indians are proud of their cultural heritages, and that most are keeping theirs alive in ways like this.
Our ancient dances and rituals are still very important to us. We're trying not to let them pass away. This one is a social dance expressing community, fellowship, and fun. Many tribes enjoy performing some of their rituals for visitors. Are like swift birds. They fly too quickly away. Understanding is a plodding turtle. It comes slowly between peoples. To slow the flight of the past and hasten the coming of understanding, Indian people offer such cultural events as the dramas presented by both Eastern and Western bands of Cherokees. These, too, are projects of their historical societies, spectacular entertainment, and unforgettable history lessons for Indians and non-Indians alike.
Before the snow is on your brow, the Cherokee may have to go there. You have chosen the way of peace. You have taken the way of
This is what the old men told me when I was a boy. The forming of the mountains. The earth was flat and very soft and wet at first. How the world was made. All was
It's hard to pass up an Indian museum, and you'll find them on many reservations across the United States. Here, in a thoroughly contemporary facility, is preserved the ancient heritage of the Eastern Band of Cherokee people in Cherokee, North Carolina.
without the fire. And even with all their rubbing, they were never...
It's a stunningly beautiful adventure in sight and sound, modernity and antiquity, from artifacts dating back thousands of years to the arts and crafts of the present. There are many stories that make up the fascinating saga of a proud and progressive nation of original Americans.
grew on an island. The animals knew it was there because they could see smoke rising.
Stories and myths that were handed down from elders to children are now told electronically and in beautiful visual symbolism.
Then she crossed over to the island.
Experiences like these are lasting things, possessions you keep in a special, honored place in your memory.
Chimoya Pipanochko Yagi Ido We hey aho we aho we aho.
Most tribes operate their own arts and craft centers. This assures an outlet for tribal artists and artisans, and it assures collectors of authentic native work. Carving, jewelry, basketry. Each tribe has its own specialties and its own styles, just as each individual has his own technique, usually handed down through a clan or family. Tribal Arts and Crafts Center is a store and a museum and a keeper of tradition, and you, the shopper, become the owner of cultural heirlooms. No one is sure exactly when the traditions really began. These pictographs have defied all efforts at dating them. Some say they could have been painted in this protective cave before the time of Christ, and no two anthropologists agree on their meanings, doodles or religious symbols. You can make your own conclusions when you visit the Tule River Indian Reservation in Central California.
You can drive to clean, well-equipped campgrounds, or pack in and set up your own. There are lots of places where you can catch your dinner and take the rest of the day to work up an appetite.
They come from everywhere to compete against the local guys in the only sport that requires a man to limp and grin at the same time. And the spectators come with their food and handcrafts and kids to watch one of the more recent traditions of the West.
We're going to see if we can't pull his head with him. When he takes that gate, just be working on a cowboy's head. He's hard. He'll jump in the air right out of the The box goes to the front end, back and forth to the front end, back to the kennel board, and outdoors, and Steve Palmer. Right there.
Rodeos have a way of bringing out the best in all of the contestants, including some of the animals.
Western States Indian Rodeo Association. When they place here this afternoon and tomorrow, they'll be glad of 3 points to go to a final group that they have at the end of the rodeo season. If I'm not mistaken, that's held over in Nevada. Cowboys all contests around the country to Pacific Western states, Oregon, Nevada, Washington, California.
In the back of the chutes, no one is laughing. They're thinking about the luck of the draw in the next ride.
This is Cowboy Alvin Boyle. And this cowboy wears a buckle that says he is the WSIRA Saddle Bronc Riding Champion for 1975. Of course, the cowboy's got to sit down on the
If you like rodeo, you can find it on a lot of Indian reservations on just about any given weekend.
Before he can call for the bucking horse, and of course the old horse is leaning on one side of his chute gate. So that means that Steve is not able to get a foot down.
Why not try it yourself, but with much gentler stock, in a beautiful setting like the Green Mountains of southeastern New Mexico? The Inn of the Mountain Gods. It's the pride of the Mescalero Apaches and a good example of the kinds of resorts owned and operated by many tribes of American Indians throughout the United States. Made to belong in the sacred lands of the Indian people. Excellent, well-appointed accommodations are set harmoniously into the mountainside, overlooking a 104-acre lake and looking upward to the Sierra Blanca ski area a couple of miles away, with one of America's most beautiful and challenging golf courses meandering through the pines of the hills. Every round of golf is a tour of a mountain paradise. A lake, some wind, a sail. To a lot of people, that's paradise. And that's an example of what Indian lands have for your next vacation. A place for a convention, a reunion, the most unusual and memorable meeting your company or club ever had just might be at an Indian resort.
Thank you, Dick.
Leon, H-I-G-L-E.
S-L-E. That's all right. That's just right.
He's director.
Indian properties are operated as corporations for the benefit and employment of our people. The facilities we can provide are as good and as reasonably priced as any you'll find anywhere.
Doris, I've got a message.
Excuse me. some money and went to buy for him. Now he has pizza, dancing to the beat. Got the boogie fever. Boogie downhill.
When the sun sets on many Indian lands and the owl begins his long dark day, there is a ritual to which all people of all nations are invited.
We did the bum bum bum, yes we did, yes we did. Doing the bum bum bum, doing the bum bum bum. Boogie fever. Got the feeling rocking and reeling. Tell me, what can it be? Is it something to be? Boogie fever. Boogie down. Boogie fever. I think it's going around. Fever. 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 We did the bum bum bum, yes we did, yes we did.
Travel to Indian lands can take you to all corners of America and to just about every kind of country in between. If you really want to get away, how about all the way out to the northwesternmost tip of the country, Nia Bay, Washington, headquarters of the Macaw Indians in the cleansing tranquility of the Pacific Ocean. And the excitement of salmon fishing off Cape Flattery in the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Basic equipment here is the camera, if for nothing else, then proof back home. On a good day, you'll need it to believe your own fish stories. Have some prepared for a feast, and ship some home. There are always things to photograph on land, too. And a climate that provides a strange mixture of seasons in any season. Like anyone else, Indians can always find a reason for a celebration. Some of the reasons were found centuries ago.
People whose grandfathers went whaling in dugout canoes far beyond the sight of land would naturally have canoe races. They call the occasion Macaw Days. The preparations must involve the ritual cooking of the revered salmon. And there is a giving of thanks for the gifts of both the land and the sea. On the opposite end of the continent, it's very similar. The Seneca Indians living along the banks of the Allegheny River in New York State also feel a reverence for the water and the land. It is evident in their campgrounds and their boating facilities at Allegheny Reservoir.
Slalom across the wake of a powerful boat. Stand on water and fly through the air. You can ski for miles before you turn around. Lakes like these attract water lovers of all kinds to Indian lands, and the tribes are ready with excellent facilities for every kind of water sport. The scenic wonders of America were first gazed upon by American Indians. Niagara Falls captured the imaginations of the Indians, and later it captured the imaginations of honeymooners, daredevils, and sightseers. It will capture yours too, and so will many scenic wonders on or near Indian lands.
Who made the window in the rock? What does it mean? Window Rock is a sacred place to the Navajos, and it's the site of the capital of the Navajo Nation in eastern Arizona. At the rock is one of many tribal parks equipped for your use as you travel across the reservation.
One of the places you must see is the mystical and beautiful Canyon de Chelly National Monument. The Anasazi, the ancient ones, saw it centuries ago and lived at the base of its 100-foot walls. Ruins like these have provided Indians with much knowledge of their ancestry. Ruins provide travelers like you with a feeling for the history of all civilizations. They can be found on Indian lands in many parts of America, and so can some astounding sights.
Some Navajos still live on the floor of Canyon de Chelly. This is the hogan of a family of people who have been summering here as long as they can remember. They still live very much in the old way. The Indian trading post. It was, and still is, the primary contact between different cultures, a social center, a news source, an art gallery, and a grocery store. If you can't find it here, you can do without it. Trading posts are still very much a part of Indian life, and the traveler is advised to allow plenty of time for the ancient custom of browsing. She has no handbook on weaving. She is telling it the way she heard it when she was a little girl.
Take a tour of Monument Valley, and you'll be traveling through the past. Some of the most photographed scenery by travelers and movie makers is still the backyard of many Indian families. Millions of years of erosion have sculpted strange formations from more millions of years of volcanic and sedimentary materials. The wind has made dunes from the rubble of time. When you think about going on a vacation, you should think about what you want to come back with, what you want to give to the memories of your children, what you might have missed beyond the airports and highways.
And you might think about the people you haven't met.
They're as important as the places, maybe more.
More. And the Indian people of America want to meet you. We invite you to visit our lands, to visit with us, and to enjoy our excellent vacation facilities. You've seen only a few of more than 200 Indian-owned resorts, motor inns, campgrounds, and recreational facilities throughout the United States.
For information on all of them, write to the American Indian Travel Commission, Post Office Box 21546, Denver, Colorado 80221.
Write us and come see us.
Thank you.
Pilamaya.
Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Alzheimer, and welcome to our lunchtime AV Geeks streaming show. This is a special show because this is actually pre-recorded. I am showing this because I don't have access to reliable internet, or I don't have power, or, something. But I kind of put this show together as a way to still do the show without being there. So I'm hopefully tuning in and reading comments that you're typing and stuff. So thanks for tuning in. That last film, Original American Vacation, was urging people to take vacations on Indian reservations. And this is before casinos. So it's kind of an interesting take. And one of the things is I have several films made for Native Americans on ways to get a better job and all these different things to try to encourage growth occupation-wise. And this is about tourist dollars. So all these films I'm showing today have a beach theme because I may or may not be at the beach or I may or may not be on vacation. Yeah, so here is By the Sea. sorry about that. It ran a little long. Anyways, yeah, what a great film. And if I am actually vacationing at the beach, maybe the weather will be nice where I can go and indulge like the people in that film. This next film is Among Your Souvenirs, and it's a wonderful film by the U.S. Customs, about all the things that you're bringing back and why they're going to try to keep you from bringing it back, and all the things that live inside what you're bringing back. So, Among Your Souvenirs. Enjoy.
Part of the fun of foreign travel is souvenir hunting. Souvenirs from other places, faraway places, reminders of good times, of adventures, tokens of sentiment, every trivia to treasures. Some are innocent, harmless, but other souvenirs are not. Traveler, beware. Be careful of what you take home. Transportation, swifter every year, shrinks the world. More and more travelers are going places. By plane, by ship, in search of the unique, the exotic. And of course, they buy souvenirs. Who's to say why we travelers choose the souvenirs we do? Impulse? Sometimes sentiment. This woman could probably buy the same plant back home. But she's digging up heather from the yard of a great uncle to remind her forever of a trip back to her native land. Sometimes a souvenir is chosen for reason known only to the traveler himself. This vase will always occupy a special place in the traveler's home and heart. And so he wants it carefully packed to be sure that it will reach his home unbroken. Souvenirs themselves often look innocent enough. Harmless tokens of happy times. Harmless to the naked eye, perhaps. But see this tiny blemish? It's a clue to what's inside. Squirming larvae of one of the great destroyers of our time, the Mediterranean fruit fly. This enemy of citrus and other crops has invaded us before, 5 times in this century. And it has cost us more than $21 million to get rid of this pest. We don't want a return engagement. This heather is pretty, but don't be fooled. The soil around its roots may hide the golden nematode. A microscopic pest. It attacks the roots of plants, sucks out vitality. In some countries, it builds up in numbers to the point where crops of potatoes and tomatoes can only be grown every 4th year. Quite a drop in production. Because of these dangers, many items must be prohibited. So at all major ports, the United States Department of Agriculture maintains a strict quarantine control. Much is at stake. Our food supply provided by our crops and livestock. The fiber we know as clothing. Our lawns. Our ornamental shrubs. The proud forests that beautify our land. Yes, protecting these natural resources against foreign pests is the formidable job of our agricultural quarantine inspectors. These men are trained to identify hundreds of insects, countless plant diseases, various snails, pests of all kinds. Kennedy International Airport, busy gateway to the nation. Thousands of travelers arrive daily from foreign places. Inside at supermarket posts, millions of bags arrive each year. All must be inspected. A customs official on the lookout for items requiring import duty examines each bag, but he also watches for other items. This salami is perfectly fit to eat, but it could contain a serious animal disease, like foot and mouth disease, crippler of cattle and destroyer of the nation's meat supply. This meat is prohibited, so it must be destroyed. Plant and animal pests may hide in unexpected places. Now here's a souvenir. It's perfectly innocent, but the packing may hide damaging foreign pests. So an agricultural quarantine inspector is summoned. He decides that a closer look at the packing is necessary. It's soon evident that this sack once carried grain. An even closer look reveals the capra beetle, an insect that for centuries has devoured stores of grain in other countries. Hundreds of times each year we find it at ports and stop its entry. The straw is also infected by a blight called flag smut. One unguarded moment could allow this plant disease to spread to our wheat fields. And so the original packing material must be burned. New packing is supplied. And the package is returned to the traveler clean and safe. What's the verdict here? If this toy had been made from raw, unprocessed straw, it too would be seized and burned. But an expert can see the straw has been processed, and it's safe. So it's okay with everybody. Continents span, and oceans width away. In an endless summer of sea, sand, and sky, we find Hawaii, jewel of the Pacific. Hawaii, our 50th state, a land made for memories and souvenirs. The sea surrounding the islands is a natural barrier, and so no insect pest can invade our mainland, unless helped by man. Man and his travels. Travelers are drawn to this paradise in the Pacific, a paradise that grows some of the world's finest fruits and most exotic blooms. But these blooms, in spite of their beauty, can mean trouble. For Hawaii, through man's carelessness, has inherited some of the world's most destructive insect pests. And what pest wouldn't seize the chance of hitching a ride even further, all the way to the West Coast for a new home nestled among your souvenirs? At Honolulu, travelers bound for the mainland meet Pestina, symbol of all pest eager-to-go places. Even though customs has no interest in travelers returning to the mainland, our agricultural inspectors must still stand guard. Some souvenirs are safe. Expert inspectors know that they don't harbor pests, so they can be passed. These coffee berries cannot. Fruit flies often lay eggs within the berries, and in this way, they could ride concealed to the mainland. An inspector needs only a quick glance, and then these flowers can be passed safely. These mangoes cannot pass. Why? Beneath their deceptively healthy skins thrive larvae of fruit flies. Only well-trained expert inspectors know which items are safe, which are dangerous. These agricultural quarantine inspectors remain our #1 defense against pest invaders. The second line of defense, you, the traveler. What can you do? Don't buy fruit, plants, and meat on impulse. If you do want to bring home such souvenirs, find out what is permitted and what is prohibited before you go abroad. Make sure that you're able to enjoy your souvenirs. Be like this wise traveler. She knew that she wanted a foreign plant, and so she wrote the United States Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. for full details and necessary permits. Once it is free from soil, the plants she is buying may enter the United States. She saves time and trouble mailing the plants home. The Department of Agriculture provides the labels that direct the plant to a special inspection post where it is examined. If the plant is found to be infested, fumigation is one of the many treatments used to kill pests. Others are hot water dips and chemical sprays. Experts use the right process for the right plant to kill the pest and leave the plants unharmed. The pest-free plants are then repacked and forwarded to your home at no cost to you, the traveler. So enjoy your trip to faraway lands. Rub elbows with the strange and the different. Buy your souvenirs. But remember, danger lurks in unexpected places. The Department of Agriculture wants to help you bring home souvenirs that are safe. Don't risk losing yours. Get details before you leave the United States. Details on how you can save your souvenirs and share them back home. Follow correct procedures, and the treasured things you buy will remain among your souvenirs.
Yeah, so the idea that the cute little paper mache puppet of the little mariachi guy is riddled with nematodes and is seized at the border and incinerated. There's something that's really fascinating about that. But obviously it was a reason that they had to do it, to keep pests from coming in and infecting our orchards and our crops. And that comes up every once in a while. It's not just human viruses, but there's lots of other viruses that kind of pop up. I'm going to go ahead and apologize for this next film. It's a Castle film, and Castle films were made by Eugene Castle. or distributed by Eugene Castle and the company that he made. And these were distributed to the home market. So people who had film projectors, 16, 8, Super 8, Castle would make a film, sometimes something that he licensed from another source, like a Laurel and Hardy short or a cartoon, or sometimes he would digest feature films that he could get licensing for. This one, I'm not sure if this originated with Castle Films or if it was taken from another source. It's a series featuring a chimp who speaks, and I'm just going to go ahead and say, I'm sorry, and you're welcome. Here's Chimp's Vacation.
Certainly have something to get off my chest. See, I was caught in a draft and got cold feet when you monkey around in the wintertime. I've eaten in weeks, so don't believe foolishness. The doc says I haven't been wearing enough clothes, but I have a coat on my tongue and my breath comes in short pants. So here's where I get plastered. And the only thing that will get that plaster off my chest is plenty of warm sunshine and some coconut milk. So, we're off to the sunny side. Now the temperature's around 100. Not my temperature, of course. And then I get some vitamins A, B, C, and PEP. I'm afraid the pep will cause trouble. When those vitamins begin to work, I feel like a new heavyweight champ instead of a lightweight chimp. But I keep on pretending that I'm still sick, just waiting for a chance to monkey around and look for some real food. Coconut milk, that's what I want. And this doesn't taste anything like coconuts. Whoop! Ah, this is my chance. I'm on my way. Look out, and there's some all piled up. Coconuts, huh? They grow hard down here, or somebody's trying to make a chump out of me. Hey, inside, open up. Uh-oh, a jail. Never mind, I don't want to come in. This smells like those black coconuts. There's some connection anyhow. Just as I did, she thought I was another chimp. And she's writing home that she has found my twin brother. I'll have to stop that. I don't want to be twins. Just being one chimp keeps a fella plenty busy. And that's when she begins to smell a rat. All chimps may look alike, but after all, I have a personality. She hides in a trash can, and that's what really gives me away, because this is an old game we have played many times before. Come on out, girlie. Last one out of the can is trash. Come on, the game's over, and you're trash. Not only that, but it's time for something to eat. Come on now, and let's take to the timber and find some coconuts where the nuts can be found. That vitamin medicine she gave me is building up an appetite, and I must have food. Ah, what's this? Makes a fine soup, she says, and she wants to stop and play with it. All right, I suppose I have to forget about lunch for a while. Come on, short legs, get on your feet and give me a ride, or you'll be in the soup. Oh, so he has to be turned over, huh? Well, if we can't play leapfrog, we can play leap. Ah, this is too slow. I like action, and I'm going to get it. Nobody's going to fool me this time. They can't put any of those iron coconuts up in the top of this tree, or I'm a monkey's uncle. Boy, will I have pep after this feast. Ah, here we are. Look out below. Now for one more nice, fat, juicy one. Watch it down there. Of course, if I had accidentally conked somebody on the coconut with one of them, that would have made things easier for me. but no such luck. I just don't seem to get a break. Ah, at last. Monkey heaven is just one big coconut with enough coconut milk to swim in, because no chimp on earth ever had all he wanted. This is one coconut that will never decorate the top of a custard pie or get into a candy bar, but it will Now the girlfriend says she has a treat for me, so we'll see what's cooking. Uh-huh, the girlfriend's little sister. This is something new, but a chimp can eat anything she can do. Just let me look on for a while and even I can learn table manners. But it seems silly to drink the hard way. Well, here's for a try. But nothing happens. That proves it's silly. The more a chimp sees of people, the more certain he is that it's better to be a chimp than a chump. Tastes like that vitamin stuff again. To drink out of a glass. Bottoms up and down the hatch. Now look here, girlie. I like your company, and this is a fast-moving chair. But I'm not getting anywhere fast. You're a little too quiet for me. I'm beginning to want some action. Can't spend a vacation like a chump. So it's time for me to leave you. I'll be seeing you. Nobody home. These queer cages that people live in have all kinds of nice things to play with. Here's something the girlfriend likes more than she does me. I'll fix it. Can you imagine loving a thing like that, huh? Go to sleep, you dope. Oh, so you won't talk, huh? Now, here's something really nice. I think I'll look into this and find out what makes it so nice and soft. Oh, feathers. They're nice and soft, but they tickle, especially when they get into your nose. A little more of this and I'll look like I ought to be able to lay an egg. Must have taken the feathers off a whole flock of geese to make this pillow. Oh, well, one day it's coconuts, next day it's feathers. This is what I call getting the bird. That's not all I'm going to get when they find out. Oh, well, it's a soft life after all, and I'm a softie. They would have to show up. I hope they get the vacuum cleaner. That's just what I need to make my day perfect. Watch what I do with it. The girls think the vacuum cleaner will quickly gather up all the feathers. But watch what it does with the switch in reverse. Well, we sure have had fun anyway, and it all goes to show that fun is like trouble. If you look for it, you'll find it, and sometimes fun and trouble both. Who says fine feathers don't make fine birds? I'll leave it to you. Well, a vacation certainly puts a chimp in fine feathers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to show at some point. I have other films in that series, and they are equally as annoying. And yeah. Just a quick word to say thank you, everybody, for watching and contributing. One way you can contribute is by buying me some coffee, and you can do that right here. that is a direct way to stimulate my nervous system, as caffeine is my drug of choice. And so I need it. And I guarantee you, if I am watching this, wherever I am, I'm probably drinking coffee. So, and it's coffee that somebody has purchased. So thank you so much for that. All right, so this next film is a weird film I got from a guy who used to show films over bands. And at some point he got married, had kids, and just didn't have room for films anymore. And so he gave them to me. And so there was some pretty awesome stuff in here. Some stuff that, you know, I recognized that were releases. And this is just a raw piece of film that was shot and is inexplicable. And I don't know if he got this on eBay or what the deal was, but this is silent. But I'll just let you imagine what music you want to play. And I would recommend queuing up something. If I played music, chances are YouTube or Facebook would slap my hands. So go ahead and hum or do whatever. This is, and it was only, there was nothing on it to say what it was, except there was a little piece of tape that said exercise sauna. And I think that was written by the guy that collected the film. So here we go. Enjoy. Wasn't that awesome? I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. It looks like it could have been for a commercial, but obviously there's some problems. The film itself was also, I don't know if the colors are really weird, and they were even weirder. They were all purple and very strange. But this reminds me of that other film that I showed some time ago. It was a silent film. It was about 8-track sales. And it looked like it was a TV commercial, but something didn't ring true to it. But this looks like one of those sauna suits where, you wear this thing that doesn't have any ventilation to it and you just sweat in it. And so then there's that footage at the end where I guess they're running out the camera roll and some dude's asleep in the back of the car. It's a really great, this is why I collect films, is that we run across stuff like this all the time, and it's like, I think I know what that is, but then it's like, what is this? Like, what? Huh? And 16 millimeter, raw footage, I can run that through a projector, I can run that through a scanner, and it's like, what is this? Is this a student film? Is this some experimental thing? So it's really, really quite awesome. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it and that you played good music. Maybe in the comments you can say what music you played or playing along with it, or what you, hum along to. All right, last film. This is, we've shown other films in this series. This is Uncle Smiley Goes to the Beach. Uncle Smiley, of course, our balding, chubby, slapsticky guy who teaches us environmental lessons by falling down a lot. And there's guaranteed to be some songs in this. So sing along. Uncle Smiley Goes to the Beach. Enjoy.
Who is one when the school day is done that the kids always run to its Uncle T? Whose is the place where the kids always race? They've got no time to waste when it's Uncle Smiley. Uncle's the one who's always busy, they know. Too busy working to get up and go. But Uncle's a friend who can never say no. So Uncle Smiley, get up and go. Uncle's the one, he's a barrel of fun. Just look out, here he comes. It's Uncle Smiley, stumbling around like a carnival clown. He's a part of the town, he's our Uncle Smiley. When there's a job to be done, old Uncle is always the one. No matter what happens, it's bound to be fun. So Uncle Smiley, get up and go. So Uncle Smiley, get up and go.
Hey, who's that way out there?
That's us, silly. Don't you remember? This is the movie of the last time we went to the beach with Uncle Smiley.
Oh yeah, I remember. Ooh, that sure was fun.
And we learned a lot of things that day, too, that we never knew before.
We sure did, and so did Uncle Smiley, especially about being careful around the water.
I'll say he almost drowned, for real.
But it sure was a nice day for swimming, and it sure was a nice beach, too. I used to think that all beaches were pretty much the same.
Me too, until Uncle showed us that other beach later on.
Hey, remember this? When Uncle tried to put up his beach umbrella?
How could anybody forget? Poor old Uncle Smiley. He has more trouble with mechanical things than almost anybody I know.
Going to the beach on a bright and sunny morning. Gonna take a splash in the big blue salty sea. It's fun to play by the big blue wavy ocean. Summer red sand by the big blue salty sea. Running hand in hand on a bright new morning. Umbrellas in the sand by the big blue sea. Splashing round, you sometimes get the notion that everywhere is clean by the big blue sea. The sky is bright around us, the sand is white around us. The only sounds are of the sea. No litter on the seashore, no smoke to make your eyes sore. This is the way that it should be. Feel the white sand sifting through your fingers. See the crystals glitter bright and clear. Mix them with the water from the ocean. You can be a seashore engineer. Watch the water follow in your footprints. Running with your buckets filled with sea. Pure blue ocean trickling through your fingers. We're lucky that we have a big blue sea. The sky is bright around us, the sand is white around us. The only sounds are of the sea. No litter on the seashore, no smoke to make your eyes sore. This is the way that it should be.
Do you remember when Uncle ran into the ocean with that giant inner tube?
I'll say. He never even noticed the sign or the rocks or anything. Boy, was that a dangerous thing to do.
We all tried to stop him, but I guess he had made his mind up. Sometimes Uncle thinks that just because he's a grown-up, he can do things kids aren't allowed to do.
We kept shouting to him, but pretty soon he was so far out he couldn't even hear us.
Yeah, not only was he disobeying the sign, but he was using that old inner tube to float with.
And that's extra dangerous, because if you're in deep water and it ever breaks, you're really in trouble.
And especially Uncle Smiley, because he just kind of sinks.
The current kept taking him farther and farther away from shore and closer to those scary rocks.
There was nothing we could do but shout, and Uncle couldn't even hear us way out there.
I shouted so much my throat started hurting.
Boy, was I worried.
So was everybody, even the lifeguard. Uncle never heard him shouting either, even when he blew his whistle.
He never had any idea at all how much trouble he was in, but he sure found out in a hurry when he crashed into those rocks.
The inner tube popped and there was nothing for Uncle to hold on to.
Yeah, he was really in trouble when the lifeguard finally got to him. Those waves are really big near the rocks.
The lifeguard got there just in time.
He had a lot of trouble rescuing Uncle, too.
Yeah, he said he'd never saved anybody as heavy as Uncle before.
Poor Uncle Smiley.
Uncle took us for a walk to another beach to show us what can happen to an ocean beach. Hard to realize how this understand how this could be. Too many people and too many empty trash cans. Too many boats dropping oil in the big blue sea. Too many cans and too many empty bottles. Too many things to hurt the big blue sea. Too many things to hurt the big blue sea.
Golly, that wasn't really a beach at all. I mean, it's hard to imagine that that place could ever have been a nice beach. Can you imagine going swimming there?
No, but it really was a nice beach once. Uncle Smiley said so, and people ruined it.
What kind of people would have done something like that?
Well, probably people just like us.
That's silly. We've never put poison in the water and killed fish or thrown piles of trash everywhere.
Well, it wasn't just a few people like us. It was probably hundreds of people, or maybe thousands even. Just think, if each person just dropped one empty can or spilled just a little bit of oil in the ocean, how much it would add up to all together.
While we were walking along the same beach a little later, we found a little white bird that was all tangled up in fishing line.
Yeah, it could hardly move. If we hadn't come along, I guess the little bird would have just starved to death.
Or broken his wings trying to fly away.
Uncle Smiley knew just what to do to untangle the little bird. He was very, very careful not to hurt it.
Uncle sure does love animals and birds and things, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I think they love him too.
You know, I wish people realized that when they leave litter and things around like that fishing line, it can really hurt animals and birds and people too.
It's so easy just to take this stuff to a trash can and throw it away.
Speaking of trash cans, do you remember the one that somebody had turned over and emptied all over the sand?
Yeah, it didn't take us long to fix that one up, did it?
Most folks think the air we breathe is free. The same thing goes we feel for the big blue sea. The sea's so deep and wide we think whatever we throw will simply sink, but soon there may not be a big blue sea. The sky is bright around us, the sand is white around us, the only sounds are of the sea. No litter on the seashore, no smoke to make your eyes sore, this is the way that it should be. Going to the beach on a bright and sunny morning, gonna take a splash in the big blue salty sea. It's fun to play by the big blue wavy ocean, summer and sand by the big blue salty sea. So enjoy yourself and play by the ocean shore, but don't forget to keep in mind the score. There's little time now left to wait much more will be too late, but soon there may not be a big blue sea. Nowhere that we can play beside the sea. There may not be a beach for you and me. There may not be a beach for you and me. Soon there may not be a big blue sea.
Wow. Uncle Smiley does not disappoint in the music, of course. Jim Burrows, the filmmaker, also wrote most of the songs. And there's quite a few. I have lots of films that he did where he has written the songs. And I met him on Facebook, kind of through his daughter, who's in Virginia somewhere. And I met her in person. And anyways, yeah, you know, they all have a mild environmental message in songs that will stick in your head. Well, so this is the end of our experiment of having a show kind of ready in case I can't, for whatever reason, stream live. So thanks so much for joining us. I'm probably in the comments watching, because that's something I can probably still do. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. You can always buy me some coffee. I can use coffee wherever I am. It's important to the inner workings of AV Geeks. Also, avgeeks.com is a great place to go and find other stuff that we've done over the years and recent shows that we've been doing since March. So thanks again so much for tuning in, and I will see you again soon, maybe tomorrow. I'm guessing if it's a weekday and it's not Friday, then I will see you tomorrow. If it is Friday, I will see you on Monday. Unless I'm no longer alive. No, I'm kidding. No, unless, you know, who knows. Anyways, I'm trying to come up with all contingencies, but yes, I will be back. If we've got power and everything is working great, then I will see you next time. Otherwise, you guys take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to your friends and family. Reach out to somebody. Call them up on the phone. Don't just send them a message. Actually, have some interaction with them. And I'll see you guys soon. All right? Take care.